Hello, hello. This is Christine Barr. You're watching Black Tea News. Hello, hello. Welcome to Black Tea News. I'm your host, Christine Barr. Today we're going to be talking about some mass suspensions that happened yesterday at Twitter that had it all the rage. Was the big conversation last night. And he banned a lot of left-wing journalists over some doxing rules, and people were very angry. You had different news organizations complaining about their journalists saying put them back on. You had Taylor Lorenz of the Washington Post, who was terrified that her account would be next. And I find it all very ironic given the behavior of a lot of these folks. And we know that, which I knew at the time, but we have the evidence now that Trump was banned for not breaking the rules, and so many people celebrated it and wanted him off. And it was unprecedented to have a world leader like that to be banned from social media. And we know that he didn't actually break the rules, but the Twitter folks basically bent over backwards in their own heads to try to justify it, even though they acknowledged at the time that he didn't break any rules. So these people have broken a rule, and it's something that's pretty personal to Elon, and they're upset about it. Now, I think there's a couple of reasons to that, and we'll go into why when we get to the segment. But also want to talk about Trump's trading cards. We talked about yesterday because he wasn't just selling trading cards with their like NFT, and apparently, reportedly, they are sold out, and they cost $100, and there are 45,000 of them. So if that is the case of what is being reported, he made a lot of money in 24 hours. So I still think well, apparently it wasn't a silly business venture. Was it sort of a silly thing to have put out in front of his actual like good policy thing? As someone who's running for president, and has been president, I still stand by that. But man, he just made a big buck very quickly. So before we jump into all that, I want to encourage you guys to go to blacktnews.com. Check out different content on my website, different articles, different videos. Please check out different merch, which I got an Elon Musk video to show you guys, which is giving me vibes of this mug that I have, which is "You Are Not That Special." And also I do have that in shirts. If you guys want to go ahead and get some of that merch at the website, you guys can. But apparently you can go send that to a journalist in your life because Elon let them know about themselves. So go ahead and check out different merchandise at blacktnews.com. Also, you guys can check out different books that I have available. I write children's books and young adult books, new adult, and I write nonfiction, but mostly fiction. So if that interests you guys, you can find me on Amazon. Just search out my name. But I do have a book website called ninjadustpublishing.com. But if you go to blacktnews.com, there's a banner at the top of the merchandise webpage, and it'll take you right to my book website so you guys can learn more. And as always, I just want to keep pointing out that I do have this book, of course, Guys Blatantly Against Abortion. It's not available for pre-order, but you go to blacktnews.com and sign up for like updates, and I'll let you guys know when it will be available for pre-order. Looking forward to people being able to read that. So just wanted to let you guys know all that good information before we continued on. And if you like what I do here, please consider leaving a donation at blacktnews.com/donate. Cost to stream, cost to run my website. If you'd like to help with any of that overhead, I very much do appreciate it. And you guys can do that at blacktnews.com. So yesterday we did talk about Trump's trading cards, and they're very strange. I'll say that, very very peculiar. Um, However, it appears that there was some method to his madness, and he had 40. He was selling each one. Well, let's just go back and um, look again at that video of his announcement of the cards. We'll look at that again.
Hello, everyone. This is Donald Trump. Hopefully, your favorite president of all time, better than Lincoln, better than Washington, with an important announcement to make. I'm doing my first official Donald J. Trump NFT collection right here and right now. They're called Trump Digital Trading Cards. These cards feature some of the really incredible artwork pertaining to my life and my career. It's been very exciting. You can collect your Trump digital cards just like a baseball card or other collectibles. Here's one of the best parts. Each card comes with an automatic chance to win amazing prizes like dinner with me. I don't know if that's an amazing prize, but it's what we have. Or golf with you and a group of your friends at one of my beautiful golf courses, and they are.
So that's a little bit of it. I don't want to play a lot because I something that I played yesterday did get me like a copyright flag, and I'm just like, really, Trump? I'm sure I could probably appeal that, but I did get trumped a little bit. So he's selling them for $99 a piece, and they're 45,000. I guess he's the 45th president. So apparently he sold out of them. That's what was being reported. If that is so, and I have seen some people on social media say that they went ahead and bought it because they're NFT. They figured that when they bought them, the value in them would go up, and some people are going ahead and reporting that it's already more worth more than what they bought it for. And hopefully it's a good investment for folks if they spent their money on it. But if he did indeed sell $99 cards and sold 45,000 of them and within 24 hours, I probably guys can't see the calculator on my phone if I showed it to you, but there it is. Can't probably see it too well. If you can just do the math though, it is $4,455,000. So it's a nice little grift there he had going on. Someone in the comments said if they weren't supported, they would have totally bought one. So I saw a wife someone on social media said that they tried to get their husband to buy one because they knew that it would the value would go up after she bought it, and they figured that it would sell out fast. And maybe the hype around, well, I don't know how much positive hype it was, but a lot of people were actually talking about it when it happened because he said he had a big announcement. He teased it the night before, and then he went ahead and announced the trading cards. And there were people all over the world talking about the trading cards and how bizarre it was. And it was bizarre. I mean, we talked about it, and I'm just like, I don't know about this. So it did generate a lot of conversation at the very least. But there are people out there like, now I'm going to get me a trading card because there's people out here going to be buying the trading cards. Now, I'm sure a lot of people did that out of love for Trump and thought it was neat, but I'm guessing that most people bought it because they figured there was value in the fact that there would be some people who would just want it and it would sell out. So there were neat prizes. I mean, I know people who paid a lot more than $100 to get a chance to go to Mar-a-Lago and have dinner with the president, or so. And if $99 can get you a chance at that, that's kind of not bad. But he sold a lot, apparently. If that's so, that they really sold out, like all of them sold out, that's a nice bit of change, and he made very quickly. Now did he get mocked from like Biden and other folks? Like Biden put out, well, I'm sure Biden didn't do this. Someone on the social media team listed different accomplishments, and most of them were lies or whatever. But in the way that he framed stuff about stuff that he had did as president, and those were his announcements to mock like Trump's trading card announcement thing. But he made a lot of money very fast. He made a lot of money very fast. Whether he's, that's campaign money and money he's gonna just put, try to slightly slide in his pocket, whatever technical ways they set that account up. They made a nice bit of money very quickly. So as far as that goes, hats off to you for that. But he did actually have a real announcement yesterday, which we talked about and which we played. And if you like, it's not available on YouTube right now. It's blocked. Like I said, I got hit with a copyright thing. I'll try to appeal it. Facebook, I got hit with a tag, an ownership tag. So I'll appeal it, say like, hey, it's fair use. We're talking about this stuff, and maybe they'll release it. Maybe they won't. Facebook, I think, is better about that than YouTube has been. But I wanted to play it because a lot of people weren't talking about it because so many people were talking about the trading cards. So Trump definitely said some good stuff in his actual announcement. And does it still look silly to folks, the trading cards? I think a lot of the trading cards don't even look that great. and do come off silly. Like I think the golf one looks kind of nice, but Trump as a cowboy, and I'm just like, why? Who would approve this? But it is what it is. He made a lot of money, so I'm sure he's putting that in the win column if what we're hearing is indeed true about them being sold out. So as far as the actual content of his policies with his digital bill of rights and talking about how he wants to fire people who've been caught up in the trying to label misinformation and all that stuff. That was good stuff, and I'm hearing some people talk about that at more today, I guess, than they were really yesterday with the trading card thing. So that's good stuff. We'll just have to see how many people are like, we trust you to do that versus you were had by these people before, and it's kind of late now, to promise what you're going to do when you get back in office, when you could have did something before. But he was dealing with a crap ton of stuff though, as he was opposed on all sides. But we'll see how much patience people have for Trump to go again. But there is some polling coming out that people are preferring DeSantis over him in a primary. So we'll see how that plays out, which FYI, people already hate DeSantis and they hate Trump, but and the hatred for Trump was so intense, very, very intense. But I do remember what life was like when Bush was president, and the hatred for Bush was intense as well. I think the hatred for Trump is worse, but they can always find more hatred to squeeze out for the next guy. And they hated Mike Pence. They said people were saying they didn't want to impeach Trump because Mike Pence will be president, and Mike Pence actually believes what he says. That's what people were saying. So they hate Trump because, well, I think they feel like he was one of their guys. They went to Mar-a-Lago and Trump Tower and were on his TV shows, and people did rap songs about him, etc. But he came out and decided to push some Republican policies, and that was a big no-no. So they really hated him. They definitely hated the fact that he won. They definitely hated the fact that he opposed them. But they're definitely going to hate someone who has similar policies and governs well. Well, he did some really good stuff as president, but if someone like Ron DeSantis got in and was like a more sort of effective, I guess, version of Trump, they would just hate him more. So people need to keep that in mind, that they're always going to find the next person to like severely just hate. Okay, let's move on to the Elon Musk story. This is pretty interesting. So I'm going to read a bit from T-Post Millennial. Twitter CEO Elon Musk explained why he suspended the accounts of left-wing journalists in a Thursday night post. Same doxing rules apply to journalists as everyone else. Musk responded to a thread by venture capitalist Mike Solana questioning the suspension. So he suspended a lot of journalists last night, left-wing journalists from New York Post, I think it was, Times. And so he said the same doxing rules apply. He said they posted my exact real-time location, basically assassination coordinates, in obvious direct violation of Twitter's terms of service. So people have been questioning Elon Musk for going ahead and doing this. And people are even saying that he's being criticized because, well, they were just criticizing him, just period, and he decided to dox them. That's not what happened. So he actually jumped on a video yesterday while all these journalists were complaining, to talk about why he did what he did.
Well, as I'm sure everyone who's been doxed and would agree, showing real-time information about somebody's location is inappropriate, and I think everyone on this call would not like that to be done to them. And there is not going to be any distinction in the future between journalists, so-called journalists, and regular people. Everyone's going to be treated the same. You're not special because you're a journalist. You're a Twitter. You're a citizen. So no special treatment. You dox, you get suspended. End of story. So and ban evasion, or trying to be clever about it, like, oh, I posted a link to the real-time information, is obviously that is obviously simply trying to evade the meaning. That is, there's no different than actually showing real-time information.
So he's upset because there is this account that was like posting his coordinates, and some people are like, that stuff is public information. It's not. You had to have some kind of like software code to be able to decipher it, because he has stuff that I guess scrambles it or protects it. So, and the real-time location was a location where his son was. So people were reposting it or images of it or whatever to be, like he said, to be clever. He didn't appreciate it. So he did a suspension. Apparently it's going to be 7 days. And people are flipping out. Taylor Lorenz said Musk has begun banning journalists who have criticized him on Twitter, including Washington Post Drew Harwell, New York Times Ryan Mack, and CNN's Donnie O'Sullivan. My whole timeline is glitched out, and people continue to report my tweets, so I'm worried I'll be banned soon too. So Taylor Lorenz is someone who has doxed people in the past. She's been trying to get libs of TikTok and other people kicked off Twitter. So it is interesting how these people, and many who kept saying that they were going to leave Twitter if Elon got it, are so afraid and upset that they have been banned or other people have been suspended. So I'm feeling under the weather. So I just really got on to say this, and I'm going to have to let you go early because I don't feel very well. But I think it's interesting that so many people were so celebratory when Trump was kicked off of Twitter. We know that Trump did not violate any of their rules to get a permanent suspension. We know that libs of TikTok wasn't breaking their rules, but people wanted them off of Twitter. So now that they have broken a rule, apparently, that put, in Elon's opinion, his child in danger, they're freaking out. And you have these news organizations that are demanding these journalists to come back. Where was the integrity before? Where was the integrity before? They had none. They're upset because they are not special. They're angry because Elon doesn't treat them like they are special. And that's it. They have no standards. You know the saying, like with folks on the left, if they didn't have double standards, they'd have no standards. That is exactly what this is. They did not care when other folks on the right were being banned left and right. A lot of these folks celebrated it. So now that they actually do something to get in trouble, now they're upset because Elon was basically like, screw around and find out. Screw around and find out. So he was concerned about his child. They broke the rules. And so he's sincerely asking, because Barry Weiss, who put out some of the Twitter files, so she's obviously not a journalist hack, because she did criticize Elon, and she thinks that Twitter is, maybe it's too much power to be in one person's hand after he did ban some folks. And he's like, what is the solution here? And he said, I'm asking sincerely of someone who's tweeting out real-time information where his child is. Now, maybe not a automatic permanent suspension, which he said isn't going to be the case. He's going to let them back on within like a week. But there should be some kind of repercussions for that. And I don't fault him for trying to protect his child. You got all these people criticizing him. Now he was saying that he was going to be like the super free speech advocate. But at the same time, people were angry that Elon was making that declaration. And like it was going to be some kind of wild west free for all. So should he have any rules? Should he have to make people follow them and be accountable to them? Now, there's people on the left who break rules all the time, but they didn't get the treatment that folks on the right got. So now that it's even-handed, people can't take it. There's a Thomas Sowell quote, and I'm going to paraphrase, but basically it's like when people are privileged, they feel like equality is discrimination, and that's what this is. That's what this is. He said last night, well, this is back from the T-Post Millennial. Last night he said a car carrying Lil X in LA was followed by a crazy stalker thinking it was me, who later blocked the car from moving and climbed onto the hood. Any account doxing in real-time location info of anyone will be suspended, as it is a physical safety violation. Must tweet it, and stated the policy includes posting links and sites with real-time location info. Posting locations someone traveled to on a slightly delayed basis isn't a safety problem, so it's okay. On Wednesday, Musk also suspended an account that had previously tracked his private jet in real time and promised to take legal action against the account's owner for endangering his family. Thursday night, Musk confirmed that the suspensions will last 7 days in writing. Accounts engaged in doxing will receive a temporary 7-day suspension. He also said that the company was working on a feature that would display the time period of the suspension and what the account was suspended for, which that would be good. So even Keith Olbermann got suspended, by the way. Left-wing journalists and activists melted down on the platform Thursday night following the suspension of prominent media personalities who are frequent critics of Musk. The billionaire wrote in a response to a tweet from Breitbart news editor at large, Rebecca Mansour, discussing the suspension of far-right former MSNBC commentator Keith Olbermann. 7-day suspension for doxing sometime from Twitter is good for the soul. Accounts that were suspended including CNN correspondent Donnie O'Sullivan, New York Times technology reporter Ryan Mack, Washington Post Drew Harwell, The Intercept journalist Micah Lee, and Mashable writer Matt Binder, just all gone. Far left propagandist, I love that they call him that, Aaron Rupar was among those suspended, as well as the prominent Antifa group It's Going Down, which Antifa will track people like in real time to coordinate folks in attacks. And I'm interested in seeing Twitter files about that as well, because I know people have complained about Antifa doing violent stuff and using social media as a way to coordinate their violence. Musk previously pledged to rid the platform of violent extremists and doubled down on the promise Thursday night in writing. Twitter obviously must be fair to all, so we'll aim high to stop violent extremism being promoted by any group. So again, they're just angry because they got swept up in something and someone is treating them even-handedly. But when folks on the right were left and right, you did not see all this outrage from journalists and left-wing folks to protect them, protect their free speech, even as information has come out about how Twitter was treating one side unfairly. Folks didn't even want to cover the story, wanted to call it a nothing burger. And so now that they're being swept up in an even-handed policy, they don't like it. and it's not a permanent suspension, but they're still upset. And I think one reason, because you're seeing people announce that they don't like what's going on Twitter, possibly leaving, and a lot of people have not left. There's been a couple, like a handful of celebrities, but that's about it. But someone pointed out that this is their platform, like for their audience, and they have all these, tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of followers. Like CNN and these news networks where they talk or where they write, that is the network's platform, and it gives them a chance to speak. But if you get fired from CNN, like, you don't, what are you going to talk on, But Twitter is a way for them to have fans, to talk to them, to relay their messages and books and thoughts and whatever. So it will hurt them, like, if they're no longer on Twitter. And again, it's a 7-day suspension. I think a warning and a 7-day suspension or whatever is fine starting off. If they keep repeatedly doing it, then he probably should ban them. But someone said they've never had integrity. That's true. That's true. So I think that Elon at least banning, because you have to do some kind of quick restriction on an account though that is doxing you. Is it, if it's a safety issue, you have to act fast, and they can appeal it, the suspension, which he's just doing a 7-day. I don't think everyone has to appeal it or anything like that. But if someone gets caught in it again as just like a policy suggestion, Elon could just do the 7-day. They could appeal it, and if it wasn't meant in a malicious sort of ways, I don't know. All these journalists might have just got swept up in some kind of algorithm. If they didn't mean it to be in a malicious way, then they can get their account back. But there should be a warning though. And if it is something that they're a repeat offender of, then, you could do a perma ban. And I don't fault him for trying to protect his child. And people have used social media platforms like Antifa to organize people to do violence. So I don't fault him at all. But these celebrities, these journalists, they think they're special. They're not special. And Elon Musk let them know, like, if you dox people like everyone else, you will also face the consequences. So it is what it is. I'm glad he said it. And with that, I told you guys it wouldn't be before you long today. I am really feeling under the weather. I thought I could power through a bit more, but I just wanted to get that out, that the hypocrisy with the left is so extreme. Because again, they didn't care. They didn't even care about the story of it being so disproportionate, with people on the right being kicked off of Twitter and being silenced and being banned and having all these filters and not allowing them to trend. And they didn't care about all that stuff. They thought it was a nothing burger. And now they're facing suspensions for actually breaking the rules, and they can't take it. They're so upset about it. They didn't care that Trump was banned, was thrown off permanently from Twitter for not even breaking the rules. For not even breaking the rules. They didn't care about that. They applauded it when it happened. And by the way, like, we have the information now from the Twitter files, what the conversations were prior, but we knew that it didn't make any sense before. I wrote about how it didn't make any sense when it actually happened in real time. Because it didn't, what his words didn't break any sort of policy, especially the tweets that they used to justify the ban. But these folks didn't care, and now they're just getting a taste of equality, and they hate it. They hate that people won't kiss the ground that they walk on and treat them differently and give them all the privileges of being leftist elitists. So get what you deserve, I suppose. But I'm so glad that Elon Musk told them about themselves, and again told them that they were not special. And I'm going to go ahead and play that one more time before I sign off today.
Well, as I'm sure everyone who's been doxxed would agree, showing real-time information about somebody's location is inappropriate, and I think everyone on this call would not like that to be done to them. And there is not going to be any distinction in the future between journalists, so-called journalists, and regular people. Everyone's going to be treated the same. You're not special because you're a journalist. You're a Twitter. You're a citizen. So no special treatment. You dox, you get suspended. End of story. So and ban evasion, or trying to be clever about it, like, oh, I posted a link to the real-time information, is obviously that is obviously simply trying to evade the meaning. That is, there's no different than actually showing real-time information.
Yeah. So put the hammer down. I at least agree with the temporary suspensions. Some people he keeps doing polls, and there's at least two. And some people said to put him back now. Well, and I think that actually got the majority, but he's doing the 7-day, and I think the 7 day is appropriate, in my opinion. But I think it was the right call. Thank you for telling them about themselves. Someone had to do it, and I would like for them to learn lessons, but they're not even learning lessons. I mean, they're phrasing it as if it wasn't really doxing, as if anybody could have got that information that was posted and like it was public, which isn't true. That it was public information anyway. But he felt that his child was in danger. They were posting real-time information, and of the location of his plane where his child was. That was doxing. Other folks upset have doxed other people in the past and gotten away with a lot of stuff, but they were leftists, and some people were complaining because the folks that they had on the inside are no longer there to help them out. So they're just like everyone else, and they can't take it. So it's a bit delicious. So I wanted to revel in a bit and talk about it a bit, but I'm gonna let you go. I know this was short, and but as I said, I am feeling under the weather, and gosh, it is, at least I don't know, it is so hot right now. To me, my nose, when it's really hot, my nose is sweating and stuff. I'm gonna have to let you go, but please check out different content on my website, guys. I'm gonna see you on Monday. Hope you guys enjoy the weekend.